Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Helping Hands Charity League. I am Frosty Vulpix, also known as Vulpix Aura, and I hope you are all having a fantastic day today. As you can see, we have our Battle 1 of Week 9 between the Pallet Penguins and the San Agus crew, but I do want to talk about first. I'm going to try to talk about this every battle just because I have been kind of slacking on it. I've been kind of failing, but the Helping Hands Charity League is for charity. We are trying to raise money. We're trying to raise awareness. We're trying to raise just everything for many different types of charities. Trying to get people to donate either to the prize pool that will be donated to our winners charity. I have something in the back of my throat. That's fun. Or to just donate to a charity that you believe in. We're all about spreading awareness, spreading these positive vibes for these charities. In any way possible, and through the fun Pokemon battles that we have been sharing these past 9 weeks. We are officially over halfway done with this regular season, and probably halfway done with the season in general, I think. The postseason is probably going to add an extra 6 weeks, so 21 weeks. Almost. We're almost halfway done with the entire season. But I do want to I do want to actually, at the end of this stream, kind of show what the final tournament is going to be looking like. I do think I'm going to adjust a few things because right now I have things to where the third place match happens a couple weeks later than the championship match, and I don't want that to happen. So I'll try to see what I can fix with that. But anyway, let's get into this battle. Let's introduce our first team with the Pallet Town Penguins, led by Beast Penguin, playing for the St. Jude's Children's Hospital. Currently 10th place at 3-5. Unfortunately, has been on quite a losing streak. The first 3 weeks coming off strong, but then just hasn't been able to pick up those wins since then. Going from our first place team in the first week now to 10th, so he's definitely looking to break that winning streak today. We see these OU Mons though with the Cinderace at 6 and 7, being I shouldn't say best performing, but tied for the best knockouts of this team. That Cinderace being something just that's really good, really fast, and able to just hit hard. And have a really good versatility with that Protean or Libero ability. We also see that Hydreigon at 3 and 2. It has been only brought 2 times. 2 times? Yeah, 2 times. And every time it has been brought, one time it was just bonked, but the other time it was able to get some really good knockouts. The UU-mons of this team are the Gengar, that is at 5 and 6, and that Swampert with the best record on this team at 6 and 4. That Swampert is something that just hurts. If you let it get set up, it's chonky, it punctures things, it hurts things. It just unfortunately cannot hurt that shark that we saw that other week. The Argumons of this team being the Gardevoir at 5 and 5, the Swellow at 3 and 3, and the Heracross only at 0 and 2. This Heracross might be at 0 and 2, but it doesn't make it a weak Pokemon. This just hasn't had its time in the sun yet. I definitely do think that coming up, this Heracross could be pretty darn good, especially with that Guts ability, able to just hit hard. Yeah, Heracross is something to be afraid of. The NU Pokemon of this team being this Duraludon at 3 and 3, the Heliolisk at 0 and 2, and the Muck, who has not shown his face yet. And honestly, who knows if he ever will. TBH, Muck is actually a really good Pokemon. Yeah. Anyway, the Pokemon of this team being the Lapras, the Archeops, the Slacking, and the Gourgeist. Lapras and Slacking each have not shown their face yet, but the Archeops is at 3 and 1. Hasn't really been doing too much since it got a lot of those knockouts in, I think, the week 2 that it was here. And the Gourgeist has been putting in some decent work at 2 and 3, just not in the positives. All bug Pokemon are great. You are correct. Besides Illumise, and Volbeat, I hate those 2 Pokemon, and you cannot convince me otherwise. I hate them. Anyway. Like, when I saw them in the DLC, I was like, why? Why? You could have picked any other bug type Pokemon. You could have put in Caterpie. You could have put in um, something else. But yeah, you could have put in heckin' Golisopod. But you put in Volbeat and Illumise? I don't know. Anyway, let's continue. Let's introduce our next team. The Powtown Penguins looking to break their losing streak against the San Agus crew, led by Javlead, playing for Huega Terapia, currently in 16th place, at unfortunately a bigger losing streak than the Powtown Penguins at 0-8. Both of these teams looking to fight back and get their first win in a while today. The OU Monsters team being this Aegislash at 3-6, leading the team, not tied for leading the team actually. Aegislash is definitely a Pokemon to be afraid of. With that Steel Ghost typing, able to have the King Shield ability to switch between that defensive form and that offensive form is just really, really strong. Really a Pokemon to be on the lookout for. Had to take a sip of your water, sorry about that. We also see the Ceralex here for OU. Only at 0-5. Unfortunately, hasn't been able to get a knockout yet. But I'm really rooting for it. I'm hoping it does get a knockout here. The two ghost types being the OU Mons of this team. The UU Mon being Mons, Pokemon, the UU Pokemans, Poker Monsters, I don't know, being the Obstagoon and the Toxtricity, each at 0-4. Again, two Pokemon that could be really strong here. They just haven't, unfortunately, been able to get any knockouts of their own quite yet. The Argumon of this team being the Togekiss at 1-3. The very newly traded Milotic. Milotic was traded from the Devious Dulots for Altaria. So Milotic, since it's brand new, it does not have a record yet. And the Frostlass is at 0-3. Another Pokemon that could be really strong in the right situation, but especially Togekiss. If you can get that Thunder Wave, if you can get that Air Slash set up, it's hard to beat the Togekiss, to be honest. The NU Pokemon of this team, we have the Spiritomb at 2-2, the Sceptile at 0-1, which was recently traded from my own team for the Toxicroak. We see the Medicham that's at 3-6. The Medicham is something that's really, really good. I just unfortunately don't think it's been able to be utilized as it could potentially have been. I don't know what words I'm trying to say. But, like, we do see this team trying to go for that Galarian Rapidash, Sword Dance Agility, Baton Pass strat. If they could pull that off into that Medicham, the Medicham could be a really good sweeper. Just giving a little bit of... trying to give a little suggestion to a potential play that this team could do. I saw that happen last year. I think it was actually Dabbing Dratini's who ran the Medicham, was able to run the Ninjask, get some speed boosts, speed boost Sword Dance Baton Pass into the Medicham, and was able to get a couple sweeps with that. So just a little hint there. We see the PU on this team being that Rapidash that we were just talking about is at 1-5, the Luxray at 0-1, the Bastiodon at 1-3, and the Electivire at 1-1. Pretty decent Pokemon here. We were just talking about the Rapidash as well, which is a really good baton passer, or just a really good just attacker in general. We did see it getting a knockout against the Goldenrod Goldangos against that heckin', what's it called, Roaring Moon. Able to outspeed and play rough, so this team definitely looking better these past couple of weeks, and I'm looking forward to them improving more and potentially getting their first win today. Technically not today, but today. Let's look at the starting lineups of these two teams. Why don't we? There it is. We see the Pallet Town Penguins with that Swampert coming back, the Gardevoir, the Gengar, and the Muck making his first ever appearance, which I'm actually kind of surprised about. Like, I'm friends with this team, and honestly, he said he's never going to bring Muck to a match. So I'm surprised I actually see Muck make an appearance now. We also see the Hydreigon coming back and the Cinderace here. a really good mix of just fast, hard-hitting Pokemon and slower, defensive, more defensive Pokemon. From the San Agus crew, we have the Milotic, the newly traded Milotic, making its first appearance right away. We see the Togekiss as well, with the Obstagoon and my boy Sceptile coming back. We see the Sarolegs as well, and the Luxray. No Aegislash this time around, which is interesting, actually. But, yeah, another good mix of chonky Pokemon here with fast, hard-hitting Mons. But yes, one of these teams is going to break their losing streak today, and we will see who that will be. Let's start off our match. Battle 1 of Week 9. The Peloton Penguins leading with the Cinderace, the Soccer Penguin, with the Intimidate coming from the Luxray right away, which is force swaps that Cinderace. And the Crunch, of course, hitting that Swampert from the Luxray here. Getting a little bit of leftovers recovery, though. But the Trailblaze outspeeds the Swampert and knocks it down, taking down the rest of its HP. The San Diego crew taking a very early lead here. Hydreigon comes out, goes to the Earth Power, but it takes down the Luxray with a critical hit, which I don't know if it was needed, but we will see. Or we don't know. But the Milotic comes out, the Hydreigon getting scared out, switching into the Muck. The U Penguin with the Milotic going for the coil. I don't know what I'm saying. The Ice Beam coming through from this Milotic, though. And the Toxic now to put coming from the Muck to put this Milotic on a timer. Another Ice Beam coming through from this Milotic. With now a Drain Punch coming through. The battle of the chonky Pokemon. Let's see who wins out. Another Ice Beam coming through, doing some pretty good damage here. But another Drain Punch doing just about the same. But the leftovers recovery from this Mug is going to be giving it more HP than the Toxic of the Milotic here. Milotic then switching out into the Obstagoon, but into a Drain Punch. But it does survive here. But does it outspeed this Muck? It does not. The Stomping Tandem doing some pretty good damage, but not enough to take it out. Oh my gosh. With another Drain Punch coming through to knock down the Obstagoon. The Muck getting its first ever knockout here. Tom Cruise, the Togekiss coming through, going for the Air Slash. It does not get the flinch, though. The Toxic landing on this Togekiss here to put it on a timer as well. Another Air Slash coming through, doing a bit of its HP, and getting the flinch this time around. Black Sludge giving some more recovery with the Toxic Poison slowly chipping away at the Togekiss. Another Air Slash coming through, and another flinch from this Togekiss. This Muck is just not happy to be here. The Air Slash is able to take it out finally. Of course, a little bit more chip damage from this Togekiss, though. I shouldn't say a little bit. That was a lot of chip damage. The Hydreigon coming out to replace this Muck with a Flash Cannon outspeeding and taking down this Togekiss. The Saroledge then comes in. And the Surf coming from the Hydreigon. Sorry, that was an interesting play. But the Poison Jam coming through. The Dark Pulse then being used on the Sarolegs to take it out. That was an interesting Surf. Milotic coming back in, though, with the Hydreigon switching out into this Gardevoir. The Marvel Scale being copied, so we do know that this Milotic has its defense boosted from its toxic condition. The Hydro Pump coming through, connecting and doing so much damage to this Gardevoir, but the Gardevoir is going for that Calm Mind to give it itself a little bit of a defense, or special defense and special attack boost here. But the Hydro Pump outspeeding and taking down the Gardevoir. A speedy Milotic. That's actually interesting to me. Soccer Penguin, though, the Cinderace coming back out. The high jump kick is able to connect here, though, and take down this Milotic, leaving just the Sceptile to fare against the rest of this team. But unfortunately, the Sceptile does not outspeed, with the Pyro Ball able to connect and take down the Sceptile. The Peloton Penguins breaking their losing streak, and unfortunately, the San Diego crew, really good showing here, though, from this team, just unfortunately was not able to pick up the win this time. But I do believe I believe in the San Agus crew. They're gonna get their win very soon. I believe it.